if we want to move down now to add an event, you're going to click on add the event. As I said, the templates are all very similar. You would type the name in here. So let's say we're having a Valentine's Day party. And then I could put the details of that party. They will show up as you put in your start and end date and time. You have a place for the location. Again, your permission level. So if the Highlands at Turkey Point are having a Valentine's Day party and I want it restricted. It's going to be at my house, so I don't want 3,000 people showing up. I'm putting group member. No one else in the community is going to see that. Only people that have signed up to be members of the Highlands at Turkey Point and that live in my neighborhood will be able to go there. And then we always encourage, the more information you can put, the better. I tend to cringe when someone says, oh, contact Susan Petro, and then that's all they put. They don't put my phone number, they don't put my email, and I figure, okay, if they really don't care enough, maybe they're just not going to respond to me. I try to make it easy for anyone that is responding to something that I'm putting out there, that I'm asking them to respond to. And if you're a good administrator, you'll do the same thing. You don't have to even put a hyperlink if you don't feel comfortable with that. But you could put that hyperlink, it's very easy. You could put the name of the person and then put their email down here. You could type the email and then just retype the email address and then insert it. So if for example, let's go and show you how to do that hyperlink. So let's just say contact Susan Petro. So what I will do is highlight my name. I will go to the hyperlink. It already displays the text as my name, and then type my email address and insert. So I've now created a hyperlink.
Now here's one caution that we've learned. A lot of people don't know what a hyperlink looks like because they're not very familiar with computers. So rather than, you can do what Susan did. In fact, that's probably a best practice out in the bigger world. But you can also put in something like click here, because people will see the click here and know it's somewhere to click. They might see the hyperlink text highlighted like it is and not understand that that's a hyperlink. So depending on how sophisticated your folk are, you may want to do something that is probably not best practice out in the greater world and put in a button that says click here.
Thank you, good point. And I do that sometimes, but not always. So, and then again, here it would be the location, so I put my house address. Now the one nice thing about an event is that you can do two things. You can add a recurrence. So obviously Valentine's Day isn't going to be something that's recurring. But let's say every Saturday night I have a martini party. I could put that and say, add a recurrence to this event. I could select the pattern. So it could be daily, weekly. So we said we're going to meet weekly at my house every Saturday. And there's the range of occurrence. So I could end it after, let's say, 5 occurrences, or put in a specific date. And I can also allow online registration. And if I allow online registration, which I will do, I'll save this as a sample. And registration ends, let's just put the 13th, and I'm going to save this. So now I've created an event. So I didn't put the permission level, I want group members only.
There you go, try it now.
Unless Valentine's Day, well, we said it's a martini party, we've changed it.
Now it's
So now, here we have Valentine's Day party. Again, just for example, that it repeats every week, I can register. So now I can, it obviously has the Highlands because I'm working as an admin, but if you were a resident signing in, wanted to come to my Valentine's Day party, it would show your first and last name. You could make some comments, I'm bringing 100 of my best friends or whatever, and then you would submit.
You might want to warm up.
Yes.
Is it smart enough to know if it's the first Thursday of every month?
Yes.
It is.
Let's go back.
You're gonna give them the caution about this? So most of us are gonna like this until we find out there's no way to print the list of who's registered. So you can see online the list of who's registered, but there's no way for you to put that into an Excel spreadsheet or print it out so you have a checkoff sheet. So this is good up until that point, and then all of a sudden we're all not so excited about it anymore.
You can copy and paste it. You can copy and paste it to Word.
You'll have to manually copy them and paste them.
Or take a screenshot or whatever.
Well, screenshot's not going to help you because you can't do anything with it once you print it, once you shot it. But
No, correct.
use this with caution. It is not as wonderful as it first sounds.
Yes.
I didn't notice any place to edit it after it's there on the page. You can register or add another event.
This is your edit
That's
button.
your edit button. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm glad you said that because I'm going to delete this. Because I don't want my neighbors coming to the Valentine party next week. Are you sure you want to delete this? Yes. Delete, yes, I do. I want to get rid of it all. Okay. So that's how you would add an event. Let's just take a look at something that we have going on in the neighborhood. Let's see. We had an event a couple of weeks ago, so here was the date and time. Those were the boxes that you filled in. So the description, we just put details coming soon, but I could have put any type of information that I wanted in there. Okay, so any other questions on events? Yes?
Can you tell me what the selection to the entire group or to, when you set it up?
Yes.
Permission.
Yes.
There were 3 permissions and I didn't quite understand the middle one.
Okay, so when you select the permission,
I can understand.
anyone, site
What
directory,
does that mean?
Think of anyone as guest. As you saw before, anyone can see that. If you site directory, whomever's in the directory can see that. So any resident can see that that's in the directory. And if you look at group members, that's anyone that's in your particular group.